Let's talk about dividing fractions in half. We use this a lot in drafting with radius and diameter, if we're doing half scale, stuff like that. So let's start with just our whole number 1. And if we convert that to a fraction, I know that is just 1 over 1. And half of 1 is just a half. Half of a half is a fourth. Half of a fourth is an eighth. Half of an eighth is a 16th. And half of a 16th is 1/32. Now we can see some things that we can use here. The top, if I look at the top up here, it is always staying the same as I go across. The bottom is always multiplying by 2. And that will work for any fraction that I'm trying to divide in half. So let's just look at something simple like, let's look at 3/4. If I want to divide 3/4 in half, or I take the top number, it stays the same. I multiply the bottom number by 2, and half of 3/4 is 3/8. Let's do another one. Let's go 7/8. I take the 7 across, multiply the bottom number. Half of 7/8 is 7/16. We can also do this with mixed fractions. And if my whole number is even, let's go 8 and 5/8, I just take half of 8, which is 4. And I do the same trick here. 5 stays the same, double the 8. 4 and 5/16 is half of 8 and 5/8. Becomes a little more complex when we have our whole number is odd. So let's look at 7 and 3/8, for example. The way this works is I take this in half. We know that half of 7 is 3.5, so I'm going to bring that 3 over here. Now, instead of doing my regular trick, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to add these two together. 8 plus 3 is 11. And now I double the bottom number again. So half of 7 3/8 is 3 and 11/16. Let's do that odd one more time. Let's go 9 and 5/8. Half of 9 is 4.5, so I bring the 4 over here. I add these two together. 5 plus 8 is 13. Double the 8. So half of 9 and 5/8 is 4 and 13/16. And that's how we divide fractions in half.